Okay, everyone have been talking about this, so it was time I introduced myself into the Classic Plus survey because everyone knows that my opinion over Classic Plus is the truest. How do I know that? Well, I just made it up. So let's take a quick look into it because I heard they actually posted the results already, but they're still keeping constant tabs on it, so hey, my opinion may hold some sway here. And I'm actually kind of excited because Classic Plus is something I talked about a lot over the past 6 months. So yeah, I really want to get into it and see what the majority of people are saying. So intro survey start. Classic Plus introduction. By the way, we're gonna watch the results after that. Wait, let me move myself so you guys can actually see what the hell is going on. I guess it's going to be from here. There we go, there we go. Hey there, hello. Thanks for taking the time to do our class. Yep, no need for pleasantries. We'll be asking you question in 4 sections: demographics, server, game settings, in-game systems, the world, and the player. Most questions are optional, however, the first handful are required so we can get demographic. Which faction do you usually play? Guys, why is there even an alliance answer? Why? You know what it is! You know how it's like. We orc gaming forever. Always an orc warrior. Wait, I switch between both factions? Dog, hell nah. Whichever is best in... never capitulate. What? For the Oh, no. For the horror, dude. We cannot do this here. I don't want to be banned. Let's see. Which race you orc? There we go. Wait, which race would consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. Hell no. Hell no. Are you kidding? I really like dwarves though. I really like dwarves. I'm considering putting it on second. Everything else is irrelevant. You can delete. You know what? I want to do one horde, one alliance. So that's fine. Let's do orc and dwarf. What classes do you consider your main? Always a warrior. There we go. Again, you can pick multiple. I do love paladins. I do. You know that. But orcs can be paladins. So it's just going to be warrior. How old are you? Oh, man. Oh, man, I really want to click this. Can I click that? At least? Can we have a compromise? Can we reach a middle ground? I guess we have to do it. God damn it. How often do you play WoW each week? Oh, Jesus, man. I mean, now I quit. I quit 2 months, no, 3 months ago. So, I guess I should be honest about it right now, but maybe we should consider it. Let's see the options. Less than weekly inactive, a few hours a week, over 10 hours a week, every day if I can. I play a lot of WoW, 40 plus hours. Well, it used to be this. It used to be this, obviously. It was almost this, because I almost played every day. I mean, 3 months ago. Obviously, if I go back to the glory days, it's like literally this, but I guess this is like the best thing, right? I'm going to take it like I was still playing World of Warcraft 3 months ago, so this is the right answer. What is your experience with the various iteration of Vanilla Classic World of Warcraft? Check all that apply. Oh, what? Wait, what is your experience with the very... Oh, so they're gonna talk about all the servers. 200 for a no. My parents didn't buy me anything because they thought putting your credit card online was like a demonic thing and it would get stolen immediately. Private servers, yes. Season of Mastery, no. Classic, no. Classic relaunch, Season of Discovery, and I never played WoW, hell no. Only expansion beyond Vanilla, I never played Vanilla, no. Okay, so these two, what role do you usually play? DPS tank. Oh, usually play. Okay, tank, yeah. I love tanking. It used to be DPS. It used to be DPS, and I even rolled DPS on the last private server I played, but I mostly play tanks in MMO. I love tanking. Tanking is the most fun thing ever. What regions do you play? EU. Which of the following labels describe you? Choose as many as you feel is accurate. A nobody. Hardcore raider. No. Casual raider. No. I'm a semi-casual. Leveler. Yes. PvP player. Hell no. Completionist. Kind of. Transmog hunter. Hell no. Auction house gamer. No. I guess hardcore raider and leveler. I do take raids seriously. I do take them seriously. How likely are you to play Classic Plus? 100%. I can't wait to log in. Oh wait, I'll play, but who knows for how long? Depends on the quality. Okay, you know what? That answer is actually better. Would you pay a box fee for Classic Plus? If so, how much? Yes, I would pay literally, like, $100. I'll do this. Yeah, 100%. I'll pay everything for a good MMORPG. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you feel about Classic Plus if they changed the game looked via Unreal Engine-esque graphics? Ooh, no, I wouldn't like that. I like the arts more than anything. So, I'm gonna give it a 3. But you can do some amazing stuff with Unreal Engine 5, but I don't want, like, the photorealistic stuff. I really don't want that. Wait. Oh, wait. Keep my graphics 2000. Oh, okay. Just, like, funny little addition there. Sure. Modern WoW character models. Modern WoW character models. Touch models and I quit. Old models suck so hard. I mean, old models do suck. Personally, I never cared about graphics. But they do need a facelift, so yeah, I'll give it an 8. Modern WoW character animation. Yeah, that's a 10. It's not even debatable. Modern WoW spell effects. Yes. Modern WoW UI, player and target frames, action bar, nameplates, etc. Old UI is best. Old UI is kind of goated. New UI is prudy. I've never heard this word in my entire life. I'll have to Google it later. I have no idea what it means, but I guess it means good. Or extravagant, whatever. So, do I want to change the UI? To be honest, not really. Like, I really don't want it to change too much. But I guess I want it to change slightly. I'll put it on 5. How would you like Blizzard to handle the server rollout? Many servers at launch, some PvP, some PvE, couple RP, like Vanilla Classic launch with. That's a nice option. A condensed server list like Season... No, we want 1 mega server. 1 mega PvP server with faction balance and force, and 1 mega PvE with no balance enforcement. Only 1 mega server PvP that lets player opt in, opt out. Okay, it's either one of these two. Because look, I said this so many times. I think that mega servers are the future of MMORPGs. I truly think that. I think that splitting the fan base between servers is bad. It's unhealthy for an MMO, and I think most players are, like, aware of that by now. I think Guild Wars 2 kind of made it a thing, and yeah, more and more MMORPGs are going to follow suit. So the question is, do I want, like, 1 mega PvP server and 1 mega PvE server? I think this is the nicest option, right? So people can do whatever they want. They can opt in, opt out. I think that's the best option. Just to kind of satisfy both type of players. How would you feel if Classic Plus had an element of seasonal servers resetting every couple of years? No, I would like it to be a progression. I wouldn't like it to be reset. I'm not a huge fan of reset. It kind of depends. In Path of Exile, like, obviously it works because the game is revolved entirely on that. I wouldn't like this in an MMORPG because you have a lot of investment going on there. So, no, don't reset the server. How would you feel about layers in Classic Plus? Layers are necessary evil, at least at first. So, I guess layers are fine. It kind of depends how it handled, really. There should have been, like, a 4th option here. It really depends how it handled. So, my general opinion on layers is that I think they're okay. But you just need to do them correctly, and you need to make sure the players can bounce between each layer. So, I guess it just depends. I would say layers are fine, especially in one giant mega server. You kind of need those, obviously. So, in-game. Okay, section 2, in-game systems. Should the size of raids be reduced from 40? Hell yes. Hell yes. Reduce size to 20 and allow me to bring more than 20 if I want? No. Yeah, with no flexibility, just reduce it. It's over raid size, but implement raid flexing? No. Should Dungeon Fighter be implemented? Ooh, this one is the moneymaker. Yeah, that is the $1 million question. I think this is still controversial to this day, and nobody can give you a coherent answer about that, because there's so many, like, elements to this, right? I mean, on one hand, Dungeon Fighters are good. Like, Dungeon Fighter is good. It's okay. But it does take away from the social element of the game. And that is detrimental to an MMORPG health. So, let's look at the answers. No, yes, but only to group you. It's still at you. Yes, this is a really great option. Yeah, I'll mark this. Yes, if you don't want to... Nope, hell no. Yeah, this is actually, I think, a pretty good compromise. Like, just let us group with people, but we still get to meet them and walk to the dungeon. So we get to find out who we teamed up along the way. Should summoning stones outside of dungeon raids be implemented? Yes, I think it's fine. I love the summoning stones. Should there be heroic dungeons? Yes, but it really depends on the implementation. If heroic dungeons or raids just means, hey, the boss just have more health right now and he hits harder, then no, it's garbage. But it really depends. If it has new mechanics, yes, 100%. So maybe depends on how they implement them. Should there be rated PvE in Classic, Mythic Plus, Mage Tower, Prestige level 60? Yes, 100%. Should there be rated PvP in Classic? Yes. Should AoE looting be implemented? AoE looting? So... Oh, you just don't want to pick them one by one? Yeah, of course it should be implemented. It's a baseline for MMOs these days. What features of World buffs would you like to see in Classic Plus? Check all the applied. No world buff don't belong in raids. Chrono boon, non-dispellable. Alternative sources of world buff, no. Weaker world buff, more varied. No changes to the vanilla, no opinion. That's actually a good question. I actually didn't think about that. Listen, I hate the world buff meta. I mean, that's right, but I do love the Onyxia buff and all that stuff. So I wouldn't really say no world buff, but at the same time, I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't really have an opinion. I'll just mark this. I hate to stay neutral, but I really don't have an opinion on this particular topic here. How would you feel if Classic Plus trimmed the capabilities of add-ons that weaker? Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Guys, you know me by this point. I will always advocate for 0 add-ons inside of any MMORPG. Always. Add-ons do not have a place in MMOs. And I don't care if you disagree. I honestly do not care. I had enough of it. Okay? I'm a WoW player at heart. I don't want to have this tiny circle, just this small speck to look through, while all of the screen is covered with irrelevant crap. I had enough of this. Okay? I don't want it anymore. I don't want to see it. I'd be happy to see them go. Hell yes. Should mount level requirement be lowered? Nope. Should flying monk be implemented? Yes. Should guild banks be implemented? Yes. Should Classic Plus have achievement? Yes. Should reputation be streamlined, made easier to level? Depends. It actually depends. I think some reputation can be implemented, like integrated in leveling system, sure, but some shouldn't. I don't really know. I guess there should have been another option. I will mark no, because I don't think so. I do love like grinding reputation. I think it's fun. How do you feel about adding Transmog to Classic Plus? So, again, this is kind of... just like the Raid Finder... Oh, not the Raid Finder. Dungeon Finder, sorry. This has been a controversial topic. Should Transmogs be allowed inside of MMOs? I used to think not. I used to love the fact that you can look at a player and know exactly what he's wearing and what his stats are. I think that's great. It was so much fun. Unfortunately, it creates another huge problem. Everyone looked the same. And that is detrimental to an MMORPG, in my opinion. So, over the years, as I learned and I grew, sorry. I knew I got stuck there. I think I said this like... never mind. I grew up, and basically I changed my opinion. I think the transmogs are good. It used to be bad. I didn't like it. But now, I think they're fine. They're healthy for the game. It's a necessary evil. Should a separated collection inventory be implemented? Toys mounts? Yes. Should Classic Plus allow GDKPs? Damn. I actually don't know about that. I know a lot of people are against it. Personally, I don't care. I literally don't care. I say yes. Yeah. Should the level cap be ever increased from 60? Well, if it like works. Depends how long after launch we'd have to see. Yeah, I guess kind of depends. Okay. Section number 3. The world. Should Classic Plus have new zones? Yes. What is that question? Of course. Keep the original zones and just expand on them. No, do that and like give more zones, of course. If yes, where in Azeroth or beyond would you be okay for these zones to be? Only on the 2 main continent, anywhere in Azeroth, and any other plane dimension. That's a good question. Would you like to see other dimensions in Classic Plus? I think it's better to focus on Azeroth. That being said, I really adore the Outland. Like, I do. So, I'm not really sure. Maybe this. I think this. Like, why not? Give them free reign. Should new content be added for leveling quest? Yes, of course. What? Brother, what is that question? Should leveling be sped up? A tiny bit, a fraction. Classic leveling, I loved it, and I did it like numerous times, but I'm fully aware that most people aren't a huge fan of it. So, yeah, I'm willing to capitulate here and say that speed it up across the board. Leveling is boring, I'd rather boost my character? Hell no. Like, yeah, speed it up. Should there be more class-specific quests? Yes, 100%. Yes, but only to unlock ability spells like Warlocks, Demon Priest, or Racials. Oh, I kind of thought, like, this meant... No, maybe for story, too. Like, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, just a general yes. Should there be more epic quest line, like Rokov Scepter? Yes, of course. Which of the following best describes how you'd like to see changes in Classic Plus to old raids? I prefer old raids exactly. No. Tune them as needed for any change in player power, but keep the spirit of the original raid. Add more complex, difficult mechanics similar to Season of Mastery for a fresh challenge. Do all of the above, plus add new bosses. Yes. Should there be new raids? Yes. I mean, I really want Scarlet Monastery to be a raid. I want Tier Hand. I want, like, Hyjal, like Battle for Mount Hyjal, but to be implemented in Classic. And obviously do it differently. I want so many new raids, like so many potential raids that can be inside of the game. Emerald Dream Raid, all of that stuff. Yes, but only the stuff that, oh no, yes, proceed the raids that already exist in the world, plus create some new interesting, like Scarlet Enclave. Yeah, exactly. Section 4, the player. That's about me! Should Classic Plus have new playable races? And if so, which of the following categories would be acceptable? Any races from future WoW expansion? No, I'm not playing with pandas. I had enough. New playable races that already exist in Azeroth. Completely new races never seen in Azeroth. No new races. Keep the original 8. Maybe for starters, you can keep the original 8, but I wouldn't mind seeing some more. New playable races that already exist. Nah, I don't want any of these. I mean, yeah, completely new races. Like, why not? Why not? Should Classic Plus have new classes? Huh. I don't know. Yes, but only the classes added in other WoW expansions. Okay, maybe this. But we do want... I guess, yeah. Yeah, this is the most solid answer. Should new race class combos be added? Yes. Allow any race to be any class. No, actually not that. Yes, but only stuff that the lore makes sense and keeps faction races feeling unique. Okay, great. Yeah, this is the perfect option. I don't like it when all the races can do everything. Yeah, it kind of breaks the immersion. So this is the best option. Just what makes sense to the corresponding race. Should the Horde have paladins and the Alliance shamans? That's a good question. Again, one good really debate point. I mean, personally, I'm a guy that can sacrifice gameplay for immersion, but I do understand that most players won't. But at the same time, I have to answer for myself. So, I have to say this. No, leave it as it was in vanilla. And I know this one will get me clowned upon. You guys are fully able to do that, and that's completely fine. I understand. Should classes be reworked? New base abilities and spells, class combinations? Yeah, of course. Some new spells that modernize ability rotation, Rat Paladin, just don't completely change them. Yeah, sure. Of the following, what is the most important change needed to raid buffs in Classic Plus? You may want to pick multiple, but only pick your biggest concern. This question referring to 1 hour long buffs, not Paladin's Blessing. We'll ask about raid buffs more later. Okay? Raid buffs should cost less mana. Raid buffs should no longer require reagent. I actually love that. It required reagents. It was fun. Raid buffs should be single cast raid wide. That's what we have now. I'm not a huge fan of it. Raid buffs should be combined so less multiple classes can buff different things, like Whatlick. Yeah. Like Whatlick is Wrath of the Lich King, by the way. It should be combined. I don't know. No, leave it as it was in vanilla. I'm actually not sure where. Maybe they should cost a bit less mana. Maybe that. I definitely want them to require reagents. So multiple classes can buff different things. I don't know. Maybe this? I mean, you know what? This is good. Like, these two. Sure. Wait, actually it's set to choose, like, one for better. Should talent specialization be reworked? depends. I mean, what do you mean by rework? Like change the entire structure or just change some things within the tree? Somewhat, but only a light touch. Absolutely, I want to see reworks. I do want to see reworks. So yeah, for sure. Should a fourth new talent specialization be added for classes? Like Guardian Druid, Tank Shaman? Yes. But limited to hybrid classes with roles that didn't fleshed out in vanilla. Yes, definitely give everyone something new to look forward to trying. Damn, actually 2 solid options. I'm not really sure here. You know what? Let's give everyone something new to try. Why not? Should every spec be competitive in both PvE and PvE? No. Hell no. No, not every spec needs to be perfectly raid, PvP viable. Overtuning for PvE balance could break PvP and vice versa. Yes, whoever marked anything different here is dumb and doesn't capable of realizing how detrimental would it be for an MMO to try and make every class good. It never works. The perfect solution was always rock, paper, scissors. And old Blizzard knew that. That's why they made the game the way that it is. That mages and warriors are gods and shadow priests are in the dumpster. Should dual spec be implemented? No. Should new professions be added? Yes. Should professions be updated to have more endgame relevance, new recipes? Yes. Oh wait, that was just the intro! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, we're gonna be here for a while, boys. World, dungeon surveys, zone survey. Oh my god, systems, player. Okay, let's try to speedrun this. Okay, raids are interesting. Should there be level up raids that give strong items but require 10 plus players? Nomegon Sunken Temple. Wait, should there be level up raids that give strong items? Level up raids? I don't know, like difficult dungeons? 10 plus players, I'm not sure. That's an interesting question. I'm actually not sure. Like, yeah, sure. That actually sounds pretty interesting. How do you feel about catch-up raids? Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're good. Catch-up raids are great. Gearing old, some more of them would be welcome. Yeah, 100%. How do you feel about RP elements in raids? AG too soon, Executus. Well, I love them. I love them so much, but it takes so much time once you do it, like, too many times. So, I want to see numbers on the screen, not some boss giving a speech for the 20th time. Remove them. The first or second time it's fun to experience, but eventually just annoying. So some options to skip the RP. Yeah, 100%. That is a great compromise. How do you feel about raids getting nerfed days, weeks, months after launch? It sucks. It kind of sucks. I'm not a huge fan of it. Nerf should happen once, announced well ahead of time, and then never again for that content. Things changing rapidly makes it difficult to assess my progression compared to others. Yeah. I guess this. Given the choice of a new raid being spoiled by PTR but launched relatively bug-free versus a completely unseen raid but fairly buggy, which would you prefer? That's a great question, actually. I prefer the PTR. It's okay for a raid to be spoiled as long as it's the first day, as the first day isn't a total mess. PTR, but keep it very brief and more limited without exposing the entire raid. Yes. Rank your ideal raid size for Classic Plus. Should be like 20, 25, and the rest are like, probably should be like 30, and then we can start like with smaller numbers, and that's it. 40 definitely last. I don't want 40-man raids, they're garbage. How do you feel about raids and bosses requiring resistances in Classic Plus? Yeah, that's good to an extent. It's good for the tanks and a couple need them, but the entire raid shouldn't need resistances. Resistances are far to do horizontal progression and are true to Classic. Yeah, I agree with that. Should raids have multiple difficulty levels? No. Keep the raids one difficulty. It gets annoying when there are so many difficult. Yeah, 100%. 100%. How would you want difficulty of raids in Classic Plus to be? Keep them as hard, even easier than Classic. I don't want to prog multiple days a week just to kill bosses. The difficulty should be about as hard as someone of the raids were in Season of Discovery. Tough for some, easy for others, but definitely harder than the originals. Raids could be harder, but I'd want to mount quality of the loot to go up with the difficulty. Yes, 100%. I love Mythic raids, so make them hard. I think this is a great option. If there were different difficulties for raids, how should the loot differ? Select all that apply. Better stats and bonuses, I guess. Yeah, sure. Better stats and bonuses, higher rarity. Cosmetically different? Nah, not really. More loot drops per boss, yes. Should cooldowns reset in raids after a wife successful kill? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, like cooldowns for abilities. Jeez, I thought for the boss for some reason. Like, they reset the boss. No. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think so. I think so. I like it when it resets. It gives you a fresh start. How do you feel about world bosses? They're great. World bosses are annoying and no lifting, no lifting so they can scout a spawn. These can be removed or changed. I don't really mind. I never felt like I was missing much. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. I love world bosses. How would you want world bosses to look in Classic Plus? Exactly like Guild Wars 2. World bosses should be accessible to everyone, so making them all instants like they were in Season of Discovery is a good change. I like world bosses, but I feel like the instance version, they don't really capture the magic of them. Maybe some type of hybrid where they can spawn in the world and inside of an instant can work. Should never be in. Yeah, sure. How do you feel about limited time events like the AQ Get event spawning content? We need more of these. We need more of these. I always said that Entourage Gates event was insane. You need to do this once per, I don't know, expansion, whatever you want to call it. It's so good. It's so good. They create FOMO, and I don't want to have scheduled my life. No, then don't play an MMORPG. I love this event. Want to see more of them. They're epic. I was here. Absolutely. These are the reason that we play MMOs for. Like, this is why. How do you feel about quests that require you to enter multiple raids? Yes. Don't care. Don't you dare change these. Yep. How do you feel about bosses cycling week to week or mechanics changing over time? BXDX in Charlotte Enclave, Chromagus Breath, etc. It's fun. Like, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was kind of different. It made some difference. It made some difference. I love that. How long should raid gear remain relevant? On average. Only for the current raid, replace the following. No, that's retail. We don't want that. Current gear should be relevant for 2+ tiers. Yeah. Should the phase schedule in Classic Plus reorder the raid release schedule of original vanilla? Oh, reorder. Yes, give me some new phase schedule to experience. Absolutely. Should Classic Plus allow GDKPs? Nah, I don't really have an opinion on that. I guess not. Pick the top 3 dungeons you enjoy leveling in Classic Plus. Ragefire Chasm. I do love that dungeon, but hell no. Dead Mines. Oh man, it's one of my all-time favorite dungeons. Yeah, I have to mark it. I can pick everything? Okay, I can. So it doesn't matter. Black Venom Deeps, hell no. Stockades, hell no. Shadowfin Keep, hell no. Wailing Caverns, I hate that dungeon more than anything. Nomegon, it kind of grew on me, but I still not a huge fan. Razor Fan, no. Scarlet Monastery, yep, and yep. Maybe no to Graveyard. Razor Fan Downs, hell nah. Wait, actually, hell yes. Uldaman, yep. Zul'Farrak, yep. Meridon, hell yeah. Temple of Atalakar, nope. Blackrock Depths and Lower Blackrock Spires, 100%. Now pick the top 3 dungeons you think major revamping in Classic WoW. Wailing Caverns, 100%. It's garbage. I hate that dungeon. It's trash. Nomegon, not really. Razorfang Kroll, hell yes. Scarlet Monastery, Graveyard, Uldaman Zul'Farrak. No, all of these are good. Shadowfin Keep was kind of iffy. Maybe Stockades. It's like too short. It's supposed to be this way, but maybe like make it a little bit better. At launch, given a finite amount of wait, oh, I should have actually just marked Temple of Atalakar. Where is it? Forgot about it. Yeah, it's way more garbage. At launch, given a finite amount of developer resources, should be more effort put into creating entirely new dungeons or improving old dungeons? Improving old ones. Try to balance between the two. Make some new ones. Oh yeah, you can like have it both ways. Should more open world dungeons and quests be associated? And quests associated with be added. Think areas like Genadar and Fellwood, Stormguard in Arathi, or Dark Whisper Gorge in Winterspring. Yeah, 100%. Wait, open world dungeons? Of course we need that. I always said that. I loved it, man. Like, I literally loved it. Turn open world dungeons into actual instant dungeon, or else they'll get ignored. Open world dungeons are cool and make the world feel alive and full of mystery. Yeah, 100%. How do you feel about rare spawns inside of dungeons? They're great. They're awesome. It makes it exciting. Rerun them again and like create ults. Yeah, 100%. How do you feel about lockout caps? Lockout caps are critically important to prevent OP classes from farming certain enemies. Keep them in the game, 5 per hour. Doesn't really affect me, whatever. I hate lockout caps. They're fun detected. Maybe. They're okay. They're okay. How do you feel about the dungeons having rotating or random boss spawns with specific loot? Ring Law, I'm not a huge fan of it. Yeah, I like consistency in terms of bosses. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Should there be heroic dungeons? I mean, depends if you can disconnect the loot. Wait, maybe these bosses are fun. It can make each run different. I would be disappointed now. Should there be heroic dungeons in Classic Plus? Nope. Should there be Mythic Plus style dungeon ladders and progression? Yes. Again, it sounds kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan of heroic because it just makes the life and, you know, attack more difficult, and that's it. It's kind of boring. Should certain bosses or areas be locked behind requiring a specific class or profession in your dungeon group? Nope. Should player power chase items to be extremely low drop rate items in dungeons, or should those only be cosmetic drops? Fell Striker, Iron 4. Extremely low drop rate. That's interesting. Farming these is annoying. I feel like I never get them. Just remove them. It's kind of fun to have something to chase, even if the chase, I get is super small. I guess I do love the chase. I do love it. It makes it feel more rewarding. Should there be solo challenges? Dells, Mage Tower? Yes, of course. Should Dungeon Fighter be implemented? If so, teleports you to dungeon. Up to you. They asked this already. Yeah, in-game UI to assist forming groups. Should summoning stones outside the dungeon? Yes, of course. And that's it. Okay, awesome. We're at the last one, boys, and that's it. Man, I'm gonna have to edit this entire video. It took me almost 2 hours to complete the entire, like, shenaniganry. I'm just gonna show the interesting parts. Survey quests and leveling. How do you feel about the leveling cadence of vanilla World of Warcraft? It was really slow. It was really slow. It's too slow. I'd want to speed the leveling up and get to the end game activities faster. It's just right. It's too quick. Oh my god, no, it was too slow. Should Classic Plus have phased level caps that raise over time until we eventually hit 60, like Season of Discovery? No. Rank these quest types in terms of how much you like them, with 1 being your favorite type, 11 being your least favorite. Oh, okay, cool. Kill X number of enemies. That's fun. Loot X number of items from enemies. That's also fun. Fetch this item from place to place and bring it back to me. I do enjoy that. Escort NPC from A point to B. I hate escort quest. I'm gonna leave it for last. Carry this thing from one NPC to another. It's kind of the same. It's kind of like a fetch quest. Sure, let's keep it for now. Kill specific raid boss. Yes. Discover this location. Yes. Craft X number of things. Do X things. You have a time limit. I hate time limit. An enemy dropped a quest item that begins a new quest. Ooh, I love these. Quest objectives aren't fully explained. You need to figure it out. No? Well, I mean, kind of, I guess. So, I'll put these, and these would be last. I don't really care about the order. Yeah, craft X number of things. I hate that quest. Do you feel like the flow of quests in Vanilla WoW leads you from zone to zone in a natural way? Kind of. I always get to some new zone to check out and quest to do. There are some gaps, but generally it flows well. Should there be more quest hubs within existing zones? Yes. Quest hubs are exciting additions to fill the world with interesting content. True. How do you feel about puzzle quests that are more complicated to complete than kill turn boards? E.g. Captain Sensor Hidden Treasure in Westfall. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I love these quests. They're so much fun. I love interacting with the community and ask people for help. It's just really fun for me, man. I love that. How do you feel about repeatable quests in general? Repeat turning, dailies? No, I hate these. I hate dailies. I hate them more than life itself. Okay, and that means something. Because I truly do not enjoy what I'm doing currently except for making content. These quests are great. We need more of them. Hell no. Should there be daily, weekly world quest? Nope. There can be weekly. I have no problem with weeklies. It really does just dailies that irritate me. I hate being forced to log into the game. And weeklies shouldn't be that difficult to complete. The only type of world quest should be one-time completable quest like South Shore Assassin quest. Yes. World quests are fine as long as they're not massive chore lists. Like, keep it lean. Okay, maybe this is the best option. Should every class get more class quests on top of their already existing one? Yes. How do you feel about group quests while leveling? It's extremely fun, and that's why I play an MMORPG. So yeah. Should quest reward gear be buffed? I guess it depends. Somewhat. Try to make the extra terrible item to be usable to someone, yeah. Should attunement be streamlined, made easier? Yes. I'm tired of going to BRD or grinding Righteous Orb just to enter a raid, cut it down, allow the players to walk in easily. I think so. It honestly depends. Can you make it account-wide? Sure, cut out the aggressive travel section and keep the spirit of the attunement intact. That's more on theme. But generally speaking, they should be account-wide. Oh, wait. Should attunement be account-wide? It was literally the next question. Yeah, 100%. Doing attunement over and over again feels really bad. Makes ult easier to play. So with that in mind, maybe if you touch the Onyxia attunement questline, unlock you away with the Martial Winds door. Maybe with that in mind, I can mark this. This is fine. I have absolutely no problem with quests being more difficult if they're account-wide. I think that would be great. I think make attunement extra giga difficult, but in return, you gotta make them account-wide. So whenever I make an ult, I don't have to break my balls over and over again. How would you feel if Classic Plus had a prestige level where you could level above 60 but gain no player power? No, that's cringe. Why would you ever do that? There should be a cap, always. What if prestige level gave no? Should there be heirloom? No. How would you feel if your ults got increasingly more speed the more maxed out characters you had? Similar to warbands in WoW. This is great. We had that in MapleStory too. I was a huge MapleStory gamer and I enjoyed that. And in MapleStory they even went a step further and they made it so whenever you reach a certain level on a certain character, you get bonuses that are permanent to your account. So now your ults have that bonus and it can be an ability. It doesn't have to be a passive. And it was so dope. I love that about MapleStory. It was so great. Should Classic Plus allow XP toggle? No. Why would you ever do that? I hate XP toggling. You're not the admin of the game. XP should be part of the game. Integral part. Always. I get it. It's for twinking. I don't care. I hate winking. Okay. That's it. We completed everything. Oh my god. Dude, it took me over an hour. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to heavily edit this video. It is what it was fun though. It was great, man. I enjoyed that. The questions were legit. Some of them lacked some options that were more middle grounded, but at the end of the day, I think it was goated. Like, it was a really good survey. I enjoyed that. I mean, I hope my answers, like, didn't make anyone cringe. I'm dying to know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to comment on this. This is actually incredible. By the way, I should have opened with a statement, but I kind of forgot because I'm an idiot. I'm not going to do it in the next video. I'm probably going to open a Discord server soon. So if you guys would like to join, keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I mean, whew, I guess we have to now just watch the video and watch the results for ourselves, huh?